Saaghe Fogwe podcast. Elevate your life, empowering insights for growth, success, and fulfillment.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. I hope everyone's doing okay today on Hump Day. If your week hasn't been going well, hopefully it's gonna get better after this show. Again, welcome. You remember our show is about uplifting people, empowering people, pushing people to the next level, making sure you grow. We want success in our communities. We want everybody to do better. So today's show, again, will be a special one. I came out of, we had done a show about a conference that I was about to go to for nurse practitioners. And during that conference, we had some networking sessions. Got to meet some very great people. And our guest today is one of those people that I encountered during this conference. You don't understand the power of networking till you meet people that you would have never crossed paths with them unless you get out of your comfort zone, get out of your little bubble, and attend conferences like this. I know there are a lot of nurse practitioners who live in the Dallas area and didn't show up for this conference. What you missed, you can never get that back. But I'm privileged enough to bring some of the pieces of that conference to you. And what we're doing today is one piece of that. So the lady I'm going to bring up here, she's a businesswoman. She's a professional. She is fine. She's well-dressed, always on point. She represents what she does, and she represents herself very well. I met her for the first time, but you think we're best friends now, right? Because that's just the person I am. I meet people. You can't hate me. You can try, but it's not going to work. But what she brought to the table meant a lot to me because I know what I went through when I had to do, notes in the nursing home, notes when I did home health as an RN, and even as a nurse practitioner, going out doing notes. And so this lady is bringing something to us that will help a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce her and bring her on. I'm hoping we can share the link early enough because I've been warned not to forget to share the link ahead of time. I don't see the link though. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring in Miss Caleche Bongo from Houston, and she'll introduce herself better. Welcome.
Oh my goodness. I feel flattered, Saaghe. Oh my goodness. Always on point. Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be on this show today. As you heard from Saaghe, honestly, it is good to network. It's good to meet new people, get involved in new circles. And so that's how I got to be here today because I dared to network. I dared to meet new people and just to discover that most of the people who think are new are not really new. Like she said, we bonded and you think that we grew up in the same home, but that's the power. That's woman power, by the way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm Caleche. I wear many hats. I'm an RN, MPH, BSc Physics. But right now, what I am is a medical transcriptionist. So we run this institution that stands to help medical providers. We are advocates for providers. How do we do this? To make life better for them. We want to improve the quality of lives for medical providers. They have worked so hard, they have achieved so much, but they don't really get to enjoy their achievements.
Okay,
And
let's back up a little bit, Caleche.
yes,
Before we go into the meat of the matter, I'm going to share the link with you. so you can share
Sure.
on your platform. And then also, we need to know who you are.
Yes,
She
yes.
doesn't like talking about herself. I discovered that she's like, it's not about me,
It's
it's
not
about what
about
I
me.
do. So
Yes.
she came on already defensive, like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go straight into this. I'm not gonna give this woman a chance to even talk about me. I saw you,
Like,
I got
not
you, but
about
I'm the
me.
host. I'm the host, so I'm not gonna let you get away with not talking about yourself. So let's take a few seconds here
Okay.
to share it. And the NPs were waiting on this link as well. So let's send it to them. Okay. If you're just joining us, guys, please share on your platform, share to your contacts. So you don't know who this information is going to help. I'm sure you know a lot of nurses, you know a lot of medical professionals. So everybody can learn from this. So just share a little bit here, a little bit more, and we'll go from there. Okay, one more share here, and then we should be good. And then just let me know when you're ready, Kalesh.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. So before we go into what you do, I know you live and breathe transcription. But
Yes.
let's know who you are, where you come from, family background, education. Let's know your real person before we even go into the meat of the matter.
You're
Tell
right.
us who you are.
I from West Africa, specifically Southern Cameroons. I what a cigarette, um, a mom. I'm a mom of six, single mom of six, and that's about it. BSc Physics, and as you said, degrees in computer sciences. I started the master's graduate school in computer sciences and decided I didn't want to work with machines. I'm a people person. And so that's when I deviated into nursing. I did the RN and then the MPH. And again, as an RN, I was always late with the notes. Like I have a passion for taking care of people. I worked in pediatrics for a long time. And every time I work with anybody's child, they requested for me to come back. However, there were problems on the administrative end because I would do this amazing work with the patients, but the notes would just not get there on time. I don't want to come home to try to take care of the kids, maybe help them with homework in a way that a patient mom can. But there's no time because I need to rush. And, I cannot just see them perform. My kids love gymnastics, they love dance. And they really like it when I sit there and watch them. It means a lot to them. And I couldn't do it. And then I'm like, okay, so am I existing or am I living? I started asking these questions. And so when the opportunity came up, this is actually a partnership. There are many people behind the scenes. I'm just ahead. When this came up, I'm like, I identify with this. I want to work with in this space and not just work to make money. There are many ways of making money. Like I said, I do computer sciences. You make a lot of money in IT, but that's not what I want. I want to make lives better. And I want to.
Oh, we lost her for a minute. Okay. Okay, there you are. You're back, but your volume. You're back, but we can't hear you. So so exit and then come back in. Exit and then come back in. So while she's trying to get, I mean, we're working with technology here, guys. So let's be patient with her. Um, she was giving us a little background on how she ended up in the transcription space. If any of you who are watching are nurses or in the medical field, you know what it means to do your notes. I know how it was when I did home health. you see you sometimes you get greedy, you want to see so many patients at a time, but at the end of the day, you had to be able to do the notes. And if you're not able to do the notes on time, you don't get paid. You get paid when your notes are done. So that's why when she was one of the vendors at a conference this past weekend, when I saw the topic and she started speaking about it, immediately that spoke to me. Even though, right now I'm not in a phase where I need those services, but I knew that there are many people out there who are not getting getting paid what they're worth because of not being able to do their notes. And also, if you think about it, how many people in the community have gotten in trouble because of their notes? People have gotten in trouble because they either, summarize their notes too much, or charted on the wrong person, or charted the wrong information on the right person. And so this service will save a lot of households. It will save a lot of people from getting in trouble with the law, getting in trouble, what I mean. We're not going to go into that side of it, but we're trying to get people away from that. So I think she's back. She's backstage. We'll bring her back. Okay, go ahead, Caleche.
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know at
yes.
what point you stopped hearing me.
No, I was a placeholder. For you, I was holding the spot for you. So go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you. So I realized all these things, and I'm like, I was talking to medical professionals, and even medical doctors go to bed at 1 a.m. I'm talking to a medical doctor, and she's like, I need to go home. I need to spend at least 1 hour in my sunroom. She lives in this mansion, but she just doesn't have time to enjoy her.
it. Mm-hmm.
She loves gardening, and she cannot garden because there's just no time. But she only sees patients for at most 1/3 of her time. And when it comes down to physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and even nurses, they see patients for even less that amount of time, because charting is very important. If it's not written, it didn't happen,
Didn't
right?
happen.
And so then,
Exactly.
if you're not working for yourself, you're working for someone else. You can see as many patients as you want to see, but you've not seen them if you've not submitted your notes, and then your employer is not happy. I have an MP who said she was given 1 week off to catch up on her notes, and that was a warning. That was 1 week without pay to catch up on the notes.
Yeah.
And most people are like me, where when you have lots of notes pending, they call you for a shift. That's a lucrative, like they offer you a good amount of money. You don't
With
want
a
to
bonus. With a bonus.
with a bonus. You just cannot go. You want to go, but you can't go because you're owing notes. And with the way they've done those EHRs, the electronic health records, right? Some of these systems need you to complete the note before you can start another note. So it just stagnates many professionals, and so there is a need to help them. Sometimes there's trouble, and you're just so overwhelmed, you don't know that help is around.
Yeah.
And
Let me chime in real quick. So you're talking about the doctor who couldn't even spend time in their house. So yeah, I don't have a sunroom or anything,
right,
but I remember the days of being stuck on my computer
right,
doing notes. I had to set an alarm to wake up in the middle of the night to do notes. I missed events. I missed my kids' events, like they had soccer, whatever, events at school because of notes. I'll be sitting at my desk. The kids knew exactly where to find me. They walk in, they turn towards my table, and I'm sitting there like a robot doing
right,
notes.
right.
So when we're talking about medical charting and transcription, and I'm just reminding people of our topic today, because some people might be joining in and wondering, what are we talking about? We're talking about medical charting and transcription. It is very, very important. And she's giving us some background on the reasons why a lot of people need the services that she and her partners provide. So you can go ahead.
Right. Thank you for the light, Saaghe. This Many kids say that my parents had a lot of money. I had all the toys I wanted, but all I really wanted was time with my parents. It's sad. You have many people, many of these providers did all they could. They've put in blood to get to where they are so that their kids don't suffer the way they did growing up. And so they have gotten to that stage where they can buy everything material that the kids could possibly want, but they are not available. I used to do that too. I used to actually carry myself to the event, and then the kids would be like, "Mommy, did you see that goal?"
No.
I was
No,
at
you
the
didn't.
field. I drove them to the field and I sat there and I was like, "Okay, I've brought you here. You're happy I'm here." And then, "Mommy, I got that flip because I did gymnastics. Did you see it? I made it." Why am I here if I'm not really here? You know, it's like you're at the office and your mind is at the beach. And then when you go to the beach, your mind is at the office. So this is an opportunity for the providers to go home and really be at home. So that
So
when you go,
tell us which providers so that we can narrow it down. Who can make use of your services? Who can make use of it?
good question. The services are 2 tiers. So we have medical providers and then we have nurses. So medical providers are those who bill themselves. So physicians, physician assistants, and nurse practitioners. Those are medical providers. Then on the other hand, like for progress notes, nurses who do shifts or who do visits, we also work with them. And so let's start with nurses. If we're doing, say, a nurse has a 16-hour shift with a patient, maybe a trach, an event, then there's probably seizure logs. There's definitely an event log. There are weekly to do, the weekly notes, equipment, then the progress notes themselves. There are many parts. And so we cover all of those. So that's on the side of nursing. Now we come to the medical providers. We do pretty much whatever they want us to do. There are some who say, "Oh no, I want to do my admission notes myself," the H&Ps. They say they want to do those. The physicians say they want to do those themselves. Fine. If they want us to do it, we do it. NPs, initial visits. We do initial visits as well as follow-ups. We do regulatory visits or sick visits. All the types of notes we do them. We even do psych notes. We get into the system and complete the sections of the notes you're comfortable with us completing. And most people, once they start, they're like, oh, they're kind of weary at the beginning because, believe it or not, as needy as this area is, there's not been much help. And so people don't understand how this could work. And then once they start, they're like, "What? You did this? Oh, please, I want you to take all of it." And even the reviews on our website, our providers are very happy because it relieves them. Again, physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners on the one hand, and then nurses on the other hand.
What areas do you cover so that we know geographical areas that you cover? Where do you cover?
All of North America. So we're here in the 50 states of America and in Canada.
Okay. Describe, so yes, you've kind of touched on your services, what you do. Give us a picture of, like what exactly do your transcriptionists or scribes do that will relieve, let's say, I'm in the nursing home, I'm a nurse practitioner, I see patients. Of course, I log some of my information. When it gets to you, what do you do, or how do I even get on your service?
Right, cool. So you go to work in the morning, you have a rounding sheet. If you don't have a round, some people print it, some people write down. It's up to you how you have your rounding sheet. You have a rounding sheet. As you see the patients for the day, you may scribble some notes against some patients if you did something special for them, or just, indicate just for you to remember. And when your shift is done, you do make like an audio message, right? An audio message saying for patient A, they complained about a headache and the headache has not been responding to Tylenol. And so these are the measures that I'm going to take. Or this patient complained of burning, urination. And so you want to encourage oral hydration as well as order a urinalysis, right? With reflex culture, whatever it is that you've done. For any acute condition, you leave that as a voice note and send it alongside that list. Now we teach every provider during onboarding how to designate the various patients on your sheet, because you could be seeing one patient, just a rehab patient, nothing was going on with that patient, nothing strange what's going on with that patient. You see another person, it's a sick visit. They probably have paronychia or, like I said, dysuria. And so you've said something about that, what you did about that situation. Or you're meeting a patient who is stable, it's a long-term patient, and you're meeting them for their monthly visits, routine regulatory visits. You tell you designate RV against that patient's name. Once a scribe see RV, they know how to just get in and complete notes for RVs. And the beautiful thing about this is every note for a physician is reviewed by a physician.
Okay.
Every note for an NP is reviewed by an NP.
So it's not like a medical assistant writing a note or reviewing a nurse practitioner's note. It's not, a PCT or,
Right. No.
patient care technician reviewing it for a physician. So you get the equivalence of your profession. Okay.
At least the equivalence. It could be higher. Sometimes the MD could look at the NP's notes, but the NP does not review the MD's notes. Right. And so there are a lot of, so we have our bases covered. And people don't understand there's a difference between transcription and scribing. And we do both, which means some providers are really behind. They're like months behind. Some people are 6 months behind. Some people are even a year behind.
Oh, yeah.
And some people's notes have already expired. And do you know how long it takes for notes to expire with Medicaid? 1 year. So if you have kept notes for 1 year, then you know you're in trouble. But there's help. So right now, if you're owing notes for October 2022, this is the time to do it, because in 2-3 days time, those notes will expire.
And you don't get paid for it after that. You're not going to get paid for it. So you're leaving money on the table. We're here. Some of us came from far to live the American dream.
Right.
And, which, sometimes is the American nightmare.
Right. And you're making it worse.
You're making it worse by even piling up. And if you're watching, Jane, Jane, I had to call her name. Jane, go get your notes done. Go ahead, Caleche.
So
I had to.
People, it's better to stay in bed and sleep, take a nap, than go to work and not get paid. Because you're not only cheating yourself, you're cheating even the patient.
Yeah.
You're cheating your colleagues. Because these notes they don't only serve a financial purpose. It's not just for you to get paid. It's for continuity of care.
Yes.
The other providers working with this patient have been deprived of those notes. And so it doesn't even speak well of you ethically. And most of the people in this job, they follow this noble cause because they want to be a part of the healing process. And so it is very important that you complete your notes in a timely fashion. And that's why our guarantee is your notes are ready within 48 to 72 hours. But we have some patients, like a provider will just get out and code it and say, this note needs to be done as soon as possible. I need this note within an hour. I need this note in 4 hours. Of course, we have rushed services. And so we'll do it, and make sure that those notes go in there. Sometimes providers they want to discharge a patient and they want to justify why the patient should have a wheelchair. And so there are all these notes talking about falls, talking about unsteady gait and stuff that you need to work on immediately so that they can put that as part of the discharge documents and order that patient a wheelchair. You
have to show the chronology too. The chronology has to be there because you can't. It has to show that you've done, so many steps before you're requesting, this service for your patient. It's very important. Yeah.
So if this provider has done all this work over the past month, and then the notes are not submitted, how does that help the patient?
Not at all.
There are no notes, talk less of chronology, right?
Yeah.
So we are very much a part of this healing process so that we can have the doctors concentrate, we can have the NPs concentrate, we can have the PAs and nurses concentrate on what they went to their own professional schools for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Patient-centered. Just work on them and we'll do the rest. That's what it is.
Yeah. And when you talk about the transcription or the notes in general, I always think about my nursing school when I was in clinicals. My
Right.
preceptor, she
Right.
always said and that stuck with me all through. She said when you do your notes, think about
Right.
dear judge,
Right.
because any note you're putting down, what you're putting down, you should be very confident in it if it's in front of a judge and you have to defend it. But think about how rushed we are when we're
Right.
doing notes. We're always rushing because now you have 56 notes, you have 78 notes, you have 84 notes.
Right.
How effective are you going to be when they've piled up? And think about, you are you going to remember every patient? Yes, you remember some patients, but not every single patient.
Not
But if you
everything.
have, yeah, but if you have a service like this that you can kind of defer to, it makes a difference.
Right.
It makes a difference.
And
Hmm.
before you forget the notes, they're done.
Yeah.
You have them where your notes can vindicate you. We do your notes, we follow them because Medicaid standards change. Every now and then they have meetings and then they tell you, hey, we don't like in the last one, they said they don't care too much now about review of service. And so that was taken out. They changed the way you do your HPIs, where the information is and stuff. And that's why I was telling you earlier about the difference between transcriptionists and scribes.
Explain that to us because I might not even know the difference. So
Right.
explain it to the viewers. Mhm.
Transcriptionists type what you tell them to type. Scribes listen to what you have said and they are trained to determine which part of this information goes where. And so what we give are not just transcriptionists, we actually have scribes working on the notes. So you have, trust me, there are some providers who don't know where this information should go. And so sometimes you see some of the providers' notes, like they have actually read it out. They're reading their HPI and they're reading their HPI. And you see parts of the plan. These are noise Medicaid, right? But
Mhm.
you did the work and it's proof that you did it. Sometimes they let it slide, but sometimes they punish them. Sometimes
If
they
it
send.
becomes a pattern, yeah, when it becomes a pattern,
Yeah.
then
And
yeah.
so these are things that if you give the professional scribes or the professional transcriptionists, these are not mistakes that they can make because these are things they are trained to see.
Mhm.
And the beauty of of our company is this. The beauty is no two providers have the same notes, even though we make sure that we follow your language. A Saaghe may say urinalysis ordered, encourage oral hydration, and another will say, another a provider may just say urinalysis with cultural reflex ordered, continue oral hydration, or emphasis on oral hydration.
Mhm.
And so then the two people have said the same thing, but
Mhm.
they have their styles. Some people use more words than others, some people have a different choice of words. And that's what makes the notes individualized.
So it's not like you copy and paste from one provider to another,
Never. We
yeah.
do
So you're
not
not.
even copy from the same provider. We don't copy your Monday's notes and paste on your Thursday's notes, even if it's the same assessment that is chosen. We don't do that. Your scribes are not allowed to do that because Medicaid frowns on that.
Mhm.
Yes, it's your patient, it's the same assessment. Yes, you did see the patient, but there should be proof that things happen. If you could just copy and paste, hey, we will not be sitting here.
Yeah, we'll see 150 patients, right?
Right. So there's got to be changes. And so when you're talking to the scribes, they ask you questions that make you understand. Most of our providers like, we didn't know that you did this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we do.
We
That's
do.
what we do, right?
Yeah, let's pause and answer a question. So there's a question, and shout out to all of those who are on. I see Ndikiba, I see Victor, I see Maglore. Thank you guys for watching. Sheila has a question. So Sheila's question is, what about specialists in acute settings like neurologists or gastroenterologists? Are their notes transcribed or scribed by physicians in that specialty? It could be tricky if done by a physician in another specialty that is not familiar with the note format.
Right. Thank you, Sheila, for the question. As a matter of fact, we do note even in acute settings. The difference is most physicians in acute settings already have their own scribes. Now, if they don't, then they now fall under those people, those providers who want their notes given the same day. In their case, it will not be an exception. It will be their regular, where they give their notes the same day. At the convention, I don't want to call anybody's name, but we did speak to an NP neurologist, and he did say that his notes are pretty rushed. He needs them within sometimes within 4 hours, and I'm like, sure, we can, And then what we do is we do one note for you. We'll do one, and then you see it and give feedback. Then they do it the way it has to be done. If it's not the way it has to be done, then we're probably not the right person for you. Because like I said, it's not about making money. I can get money from IT.
Yeah.
The work we do has to have value. It has to make you have free time. You cannot have free time if you're not sure of the quality of the job, because then you sit here and like, oh, are they doing a good job? Yeah. We have to determine that before we even start. You give us different types of notes. We do those. You see them. And then you determine whether that's for you or not. And either way, we are fine with it.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Sheila. If not, you can ask a follow-up question. And, just guys, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. And if we happen to miss a question, we'll definitely come back, and look at the questions and try to answer them. But while we have Caleche here, let's take advantage and ask her those questions. And we talked about, making sure that you're within standard, your notes are, what you can defend in court. I had an experience with that when I did the nursing home during the pandemic. I had to be called into court last year to defend a note from, so that was 2022, to defend a note from 2019 or 2020, something like that, 2020. So I had to, luckily my note was on point.
Right.
It was a situation that, of course, I don't want to, for HIPAA reasons, I can't go into the actual story, but it was basically me having to come defend the note that I wrote on a patient to it was a case where we had to determine the patient's capability, like if they had dementia and if they were capable to give consent for something. And that note saved me. And because it was on point, I didn't have a transcriptionist, I didn't have a scribe, but the system that the company had was on point, where it actually gave you all those, it put the note the way in the format that it needs to be, and you were able to defend it. So that's how important this is. Yes, I wasn't the defender, in the case, but I had to come and defend myself. I almost felt like I was defending my profession.
Right.
And you're sitting there. Normally we watch CSI, we watch NCIS and all those. When you're watching the show, it looks so easy, but sitting there and you have a jury and have it's nerve-wracking, even though you know what you did was right. But sitting there, you don't want to ever have to defend your profession for whatever reason. So I just wanted to shed some light on that and show how important it is to have your notes on point. So talk a little bit more about your company, because I don't think we've even mentioned what your company is, what the name of it, where you're located. You've talked about you help everybody anywhere, but where is the corporate office located? How is it set up? So people, have a little bit of better understanding, and then we'll share contact information here in a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Saaghe. It's Medical Transcription Services. Medical Transcription Services. And the headquarters is in the Woodlands, Texas. Like I said earlier, we cover all of America and Canada. Yeah. Did you say we'll talk about contact information later?
Yeah,
I
yeah, we
post
can
it
share.
on
We
here.
we'll pull it up here in a little bit, but
Right.
just how do people, just kind of talk through it before we pull it up. Just
So the
okay,
online,
yeah,
go
it's being
to our
posted in the comments, so people
Okay,
can see the contact
perfect,
information.
perfect, perfect. So medicaltranscriptionservices.org is the website, medicaltranscriptionservices.org. That's the website. If you go in there, you can click on the contact us button, fill the information, or you call. The numbers are on there. Email is there, phone numbers, or the form to fill. That different ways to contact us. The response time is rapid. They will contact, if you send an email today, they'll contact you tomorrow. By the close of business the next day, you would have
Mhm.
been contacted, your questions answered, and it's very easy to sign on. It's very
And
easy.
no commitment. It doesn't
Oh,
mean
no,
that calling. No, it doesn't mean calling means you've signed your life away,
absolute
or your
commitment.
firstborn child away, right?
No, at
And
no point will you be signing such away. Yeah, so that's it. This is what it looks like. This brochure, this is what it looks like. But of course, if you go online, medicaltranscriptionservices.org, um, then you have all the information.
uh, just look at the comments, Kalesh, to make sure that we have the right link to the website. We have
Yeah,
medicaltranscriptionservices.org.
medtranscriptionservices.com, med.
So not medical,
Yeah,
med.
med
So
medtranscriptionservices.
transcriptionservices.org.
Mhm.
Yeah, and of course, anybody who's watching today and who reaches out for services can give my name. That you heard it on the Saaghe Fogwe
Yeah,
podcast. So just
yes,
say Saaghe. That will be your code. Don't say
yes,
I never gave you guys anything. That's your Christmas gift,
yes,
early Christmas.
yes. They
So
have to.
mention my name.
It's important to mention the name so we know that you got in through the show and then you get
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so speak to people who are still hesitant to get on board with you. Just
This
speak
is
to
the
them.
thing. This is the thing. I'm that person who is not able to sell water in the desert, but I can buy ice in Alaska if somebody sells it to me. So I don't have a sales pitch.
Oh, that's deep.
Yes,
She can
I
buy
I, I,
ice
don't-
in Alaska.
I could. I'm telling you, at some point I had 6 different types of toothpaste because every time I watched the advertisement, everyone said what was good about it, so I bought it. And then, yeah, that's it. But when it comes to me having a sales pitch, I don't because I'm not a salesperson. Yes, the thing is, all I can say is there's no commitment. There's no. You can start today, and if you don't like it, you stop tomorrow. If you really want to own your time, to take back your time and enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, enjoy your kids, get involved, then why not try it? It's a no obligation move.
Mhm.
All you need to do is try it. I can tell you, one person came in there, gave us that note. I said, just give us one note to do. You're not paying for the note anyways. And then we finished the note and we sent it to her. We said, well, we await your feedback so we know how to go. And her response was perfect. Sometimes medical providers, like I have a physician, she gave us her notes and we had a problem with the accent. We serve people in America. People come from different
Mhm.
places, and
Yeah.
so we had a problem with the accent. And so the physician supervisor did that one, and then when she was trying to do hers, she's like, "Oh no, just forget about mine. We'll use this one." Which shows you people
Yeah.
to go with the one done by the physician supervisor. And so that's all I can tell you. All I can tell is example. But to really know the worth of our work, just hear what other providers are saying.
Mhm.
Because I could be biased. I don't need you to just listen to me and believe me.
Yeah.
After all, I make money out of this. So what makes you trust me? You can trust your fellow providers who are benefiting from the services.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that this
Yeah.
works. Otherwise, if you want to listen to me, you have to taste the pudding to get the taste. You
Yeah.
have to eat the pudding to get the taste.
Yeah. Any referral services from previous, like the providers, do
That's
they,
how to grow.
is that the right website now? The med, she had the website up. So just
Oh,
make sure
you
we
did.
have the right one. So that's the right one.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so guys, that's the right website. So when you log in, this is what you should see, and you can send a message to her, to them, send a message,
Wow.
contact them, and yeah, to reach out to, get a consultation, just,
Right.
to find out what they can do for you.
Mhm.
Um, what was I about to say? I was saying, I lost my train of thought.
Referral. We're talking about referrals.
Referrals, yes. So referral bonuses for those who refer
Yeah,
other providers.
definitely. We definitely.
Hey, I'm
So
trying to get everybody something here.
please, I know
Not
that.
just the service,
I
even the
know you sign.
providers.
Yes,
Hey.
yes. If you refer someone and they stay on there for 6 months, there's a package for you. So yes, that we do absolutely compensate those our business partners, because if you
Mhm,
refer, yeah, you have the interest of the business at heart. So when they come in and they stay with us, most institutions do 1 year, but we do six
mhm.
months, and
Okay,
then you
that's
definitely
awesome. That's
yes.
awesome. And
Mhm.
how do you handle people with bad handwriting? Because I know sometimes I can't read my writing. If
Right.
they turn it
That's
into you,
why
or do you do audio?
audio. That's why I
Okay. So,
scribble something, and whatever you scribble for your own good, so that just for you it's just, it serves as a reminder that, oh, I need to keep a voice note about this patient. You can just see somebody who put INR 4, and then oh, you need to talk about supratherapeutic INR,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
And that was a reminder just to you. Or they
mhm,
tell you the BMP, they just something was off, right?
mhm,
Say potassium 6, right?
mhm, mhm.
And they can just write K6.
Yeah.
It will not mean anything to anyone, but that is
Except.
just to remind the provider that they need something is going on here. Or they put
Mhm.
ER, this patient is sent to the ER,
Yeah. Mhm.
maybe changes in level of consciousness, just stuff like that. And then you just put the audio. So it's
Mhm.
from the so when we look at your rounding sheet, say this is your rounding sheet, and we see any patient with any scribbled stuff by their names, then
Mhm.
pay attention to the audio to see
Mhm.
what's going on with that patient. Okay, so scribes will reach out to you and say, hey, we did see that this patient had some writings against their names, but nothing was on the audio. And we'll get to the provider and say, did you forget this? Sometimes, oh, scratch that. Never mind, that was for a different day, or I took care of it, or
Mhm.
oh, don't worry, I'm going to handle that myself. Or they'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, thank you. I thought I sent it to you. Well, this is what I want you to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you don't need to have the best of handwritings.
Mhm.
We hope we get to the point where you don't even need to write. That's what
Yeah.
the goal of this is to see a provider who gets up in the morning and they choose when they want to go. Maybe they want to sleep in late and start work at 9 or 10 and work from 10 to 1. 3 hours is enough time.
Mhm.
And then go home at 1. Maybe they get home at 1:32, depending on how far.
Yeah.
And then do what it is they want to do, come back in the night and file their work and
Yeah.
file their notes. That's what we look forward to.
Yeah. So I like looking beyond 1 year, beyond 2 years, beyond 3 years. What's the future for medical transcription services in terms of, yes, you have scribes now that are in the office, they're doing what they do. At some point, do you think, because I know I worked in the ER and there were scribes that followed the doctors around, is that something that your service is even looking into? Because you have to prepare for the capacity of growth. You have to have the mindset of growth, that you're not going to end where you are right now. You have to be ready for growth. And
Ex-
so when that happens, are you ready to be everywhere, send people out, have scribes who are following physicians or nurse practitioners or nurses around?
Absolutely. We are even thinking beyond that. because with the advancement of AI, they may even replace the scribes following the providers. And so we are not blind to growth. To this IT age, we are not. There's going to be a time when, so we're going to figure out how to use AI and still have a personal touch. Because the one thing that is not going to change for us is the uniqueness of every provider's notes. So we are going to maintain that even as we go with the flow, even as we go with the advancements in technology. We are going to make sure that we do not compromise. You know, mass production, everything is the same. It will never be a one size fit all for us. A
True.
signature, yes.
Yeah.
So we will always have people working in the offices, even when we inculcate AI into our businesses and into our business and everything. We'll still have that person. Yeah.
So as we round up here, the one last question that I want to ask is, I believe in giving back to the community, right? So do you believe in, or are you guys open to mentoring other people, mentoring people to do what you do? Because there are a lot of providers out there, enough to go around, right? So we cannot be selfish and feel like, okay, no, people are going to get into my space. So are you open to mentoring people to bring up other people who need to know what you know?
Exactly. We always say that many birds can fly in the sky, right? There's enough space for everybody to spread their wings. And so that's not at my level, but at the higher ups, there's consultations. So they do consultancy and stuff, and that's where all of that falls. Oh, yes. MTS is definitely open to that. We can all grow together, trust me. The physicians, I'm telling you, especially physicians. I attended the nurse practitioner convention and I know that they're overwhelmed, but you guys are not half as overwhelmed as the physicians. So there is a need. There is a need. You just need to have a passion, like everything else. If you don't have a passion for it, you cannot do it. So if you have a passion for it and you choose that, okay, these are the people I want to give relief to, you will do it and you will succeed. Yes.
Any final thoughts for anything I didn't ask that you probably expected me to ask and I didn't? Any final thoughts?
That's something that you shouldn't have asked that you asked. So, and I cannot take that back. So, yes. What do I want to tell you guys? That just YOLO. Just actually execute. You only live once. Just execute it. If you're a provider and you're already past 40, when do you want to relax? We are immigrants here. How do you see not that, I'm not going to say that this is just for immigrants, right?
It's not. It's for everyone. Yes.
It's for everyone. But let's see this. Immigrants have like double responsibilities because they're taking care of their families here and they're taking care of their families in Africa or in Asia or wherever else they are from. And so I feel like the financial responsibility, the financial tasks on immigrants are a little higher than Native Americans. Now, so Native Americans are able to plan their works where they don't need to work too much and then have time. They make sure that
go on vacation.
They go on vacation maybe 3 times a year, right? And it's working. But the thing is, most of the people who use our services are Native Americans. And so then I ask my fellow immigrants, when you work and work and work, and they say, thank you, Auntie, thank you, Grandma, thank you, Uncle, I have done this. And you even see your work. You see the children that you're sponsoring out there are growing and this, yes. And then you fall down dead.
Yeah.
Your children will make it because you have there's everybody's financially savvy now and they have insurance plans and this. But is that really what you want for your kids? Don't you really want to stay with them and enjoy them for as long as possible before you check out?
Yeah.
It's
Very
time.
important.
It's time to take care of yourself. Don't just say age is a number, and
Mhm.
then the age is a number, but that number is growing if you don't take care of it. Our bodies, what you do, what you can do, what you do at 30, you can't do at you cannot expect to do at 60.
Mhm.
You know, you cannot expect to do at 70. So be nice to you. Give yourself the gift of time. Give yourself the gift of your couch, of your sunroom, of your garden, of fishing,
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
attending gymnastics with your kids, of seeing that your kids score a goal in the soccer game or make a basket in basketball game. Give yourself those gifts that cannot be bought with money.
Yes. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this is once you give yourself that time, you actually make more money. Is that not? It sounds like a scam. I'm always scared to
It's
say
true. It's true.
you
Very
make
true.
more money because instead of spending 8 hours at work, where 3 of those hours are to see patients and 5 of those hours are to chart on them,
Yeah.
if you add just 1 more hour to work and then work for 4 hours instead of 8, you work for 4 hours. So you're seeing patients for 1 extra hour a day.
Mhm. Mhm.
You have gained 4 hours, but you're seeing patients, more patients.
Mhm.
That's more money in your pockets.
Yeah.
That's your vacation right there. And at the end of the day, even after paying us, you keep more money in your
In
save
your pocket. Mhm.
than you did before you hired us. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win for everybody, but it's really a greater win for the providers.
Yes.
And it sounds too good to be true until you try it.
Mhm.
That's really it. Just try.
Well, I can add much more to that. She summed it all. Give yourself the freedom of time, money, and location because you can decide where you want to be, where you want to go on vacation, where you can give yourself all those freedoms. We keep saying we're free, but how free are we? So this service will give you that freedom that you need. And just have the experts do it for you. Learn to delegate, give it to somebody who can do it better for you. Caleche, I can't thank you enough
Thank
for accepting to jump on so quickly. We met on Friday or Saturday and we made it happen. So yeah, thank you. And I hope that, people will jump on board and, and check out the service and reach out to you or refer you, share the information, share this video, share the information, share the website, and somebody else can benefit from it, even if it's not for you. Just like me, I can't benefit from it right now. I might in the future, but I thought it was important to bring her on here to talk to everybody else. So thank you guys again for watching. And until next time, thank you for watching the Saaghe Fogwe podcast.
Special. Thank you
Yeah.
for what you do, Saaghe. You
You're
are really
welcome.
special, helping the community. You are a special woman.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to have you. We'll catch up later.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
The Saaghe Fogwe podcast. Elevate your life, empowering insights for growth, success, and fulfillment.